Grimsby Town's double-winning side will forever hold a place in supporters' hearts after their heroics in 1998. After lifting the Auto Windscreens Shield Trophy at Wembley, the Mariners returned to the National Stadium just over a month later to secure their promotion to Division 1 with victory in the playoff final against Northampton. But what happened to the men that secured Grimsby Town's double after their Wembley triumph? AIDAN Davison. Following the promotion, Davison stayed with Town for just one more season, setting a new clean sheet record of 50 in 100 games, before making the move to Sheffield United in 1999. A spell back at Bradford City followed, and then the goalkeeper returned to Blundell Park for the 2003-04 campaign, a season which unfortunately ended in the Mariners' relegation. Davison ended his playing career with Colchester United in 2008, before joining the coaching staff at Hull City. He is now the head coach of American side Sporting Arizona FC. AIDAN Davison kept a clean sheet as the Mariners earned their place back in Division 1. John McDermott. A man who needs no introduction to Town fans, McDermott of course remained with the Mariners after Wembley, and went on to become the club's record appearance maker with 754 games under his belt. Since his playing days, Macca has worked at the Grimsby Institute, and was appointed assistant manager at Harrogate Town in 2010. Following his time at Harrogate, he worked as director of football at Cleethorpes Town as the Owls won promotion to the Evo Stick League and made the FA Base final, before becoming Alfrighton Town manager, a position he departed from in January. Tony Gallimore remained at Blundell Park until 2003, making 273 league appearances during his time with the Mariners. Spells at Barnsley and Rockdale followed, before he joined Northwich Victoria in 2006. He spent 2 months on loan at Hucknall Town before returning to Northwich, where he saw out the season before retiring. Gallimore returned to live in Grimsby following his playing days, where he took up a job as a scaffolder. Mark Lever. After coming through the ranks and emerging into the Mariners' first team in 1988, Lever remained with the club for another 2 years after Wembley, taking him to over 400 appearances. Mark Lever in an aerial battle with John Gale during the playoff final. The defender made the move to Bristol City thereafter, before heading to Mansfield Town in 2002 and Ilkeston Town in 2003, where he ended his playing career. After his playing days, Lever had a brief spell as manager at Bridlington Town in 2009. Peter Handyside stayed with Town for another 3 years following Wembley, taking him to over 200 appearances for the club. He made the move to Stoke City in 2001, before joining Gallimore at Barnsley in 2003, and just like his former teammate, went on to play for Northwich and Hucknall before retiring. Wayne Burnett. The Mariners' original Wembley hero, Burnett stayed with Town until 2002, totaling over 100 appearances during his time with the club. Spells at Woking, Grays Athletic, Fisher Athletic and Peterborough United followed before he moved into management. Burnett was most recently boss at Dagenham and Redbridge, and now works as head of Tottenham's under-23s side. Grimsby captain Paul Groves celebrates with keeper AIDAN Davison after winning the playoff final. Paul Groves. The man who lifted the trophy, Groves would play for another 6 years following the Wembley triumph. And during that time, he was handed the reins following the departure of Lenny Lawrence, taking on the role of player-manager for 3 years. Groves was relieved of his managerial duties in 2004, and continued his playing career at Scunthorpe United, York City and Stafford Rangers, before working as a coach at Portsmouth and managing Bournemouth. Kevin Donovan, the man whose goal took Town back into the First Division. Donovan stayed with the club for a further 3 years, racking up 154 league appearances. In 2001, he made the move to Barnsley, scoring a solitary goal for the Tykes, before heading to Rockdale in 2003. Kevin Donovan celebrates with Harry Haddock after his all-important goal secured Town's double. A spell at York City followed, before Donovan ended his playing career at Alfreton Town. Smith. After joining just a few months before the Wembley final, Smith remained with the Mariners until 2002, when he made the move to Swansea City. He spent just a year in Wales before calling time on his playing days, and making the move back to Town, this time working as the club's commercial manager, a role he holds to this day. Jack Lester. Lester spent just another 2 years with Town after Wembley before making the move to Nottingham Forest in 2000. 3 years later, he returned home as he joined Sheffield United, but after just a season, he was back at Forest before making the move to Chesterfield in 2007, and ending his playing career at Gateshead. Since then, Lester has worked mainly as a youth coach with Forest, but was most recently manager at Chesterfield, whom he departed following their relegation to non-league. Leon Nogan left Town a year after their Wembley triumphs, and proceeded to play for a host of clubs before his retirement. First up came Darlington, followed by Luton in 2000, then York City in 2001, where he played for 4 years and racked up 165 league appearances. Lee Nogan fights his way through the Northampton defence during Grimsby Town's Wembley victory. Spells with Harrogate, Pickering and Whitby followed, before he became Neil Aspin's assistant at Halifax. He has since followed Aspin to Gateshead and Port Vale, where he now works as a coach. From the bench, Steve Livingstone's time at Town came to an end in 2003, with the forward ending his playing career at Carlisle in 2004 after suffering from persistent back injuries. Kingsley Black made the move to Lincoln City in 2001 after spending a short time on loan at Sincil Bank, but played just a season for the Imps before retiring. Unused substitute Kevin Jobling moved away from Blundell Park after the final, heading to Shrewsbury Town before ending his career with Telford United in 2002. Grimsby Town vs Northampton Town playoff final at Wembley. As it happened, keep up to date with all the latest Grimsby Town news, features and opinions throughout the day with our dedicated page to the Mariners. You can also keep track of all the goings-on at Blundell Park by following us on Twitter and Facebook.